That's
You gotta be
true.
testing your speakers on StreamYard. Sounds like
All right, here we go.
right.
Galina's in the house. Let's go.
You got one life, for crying out loud. You might as well just give it all you got.
The Deej, Dan Jordan.
Your daily dose of reality. Your daily dose of the Deej.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need my daily dose of the D.
I make the news. I don't watch the news. I'm a leader.
The Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Listen, don't worry how to sell, baby. Worry about why people buy. And it's fun.
You don't need a 5-hour energy. All you need is the Sales Energizer.
Just when I think it's not going to be as fun as the one before, each one gets successfully better. What's the word I'm looking for? What's it going to take to get you into this car today, huh?
And now, please welcome the Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Boom! That's exactly it.
Do that. Let's do that.
What's going on?
You see me in the back. I just discovered something today, and that is I always try to time it with a jump right there. But I'm thinking, why do I have to do that? I could just do this, and then, it doesn't matter. I'm like, sometimes you do things like forever, and you're wondering why the heck did I do things? So here's my biggest dilemma that happened recently, Chris Stone.
Okay.
And for anyone else who's out there. So you know how we get stuff sent to us from Amazon?
Oh, yeah, a few things.
Yeah, sometimes they just send you stuff and they want you to do a video or whatever it is, but sometimes you don't even ask for it. They just send you something. So I get a package the other day, and it comes in this unmarked box right here. And I'm not even going to open it because it's like a male sex thing. I don't know what it is.
What?
But I know it's a crazy thing. It's some sort of massager. I know. And so, but now I'm thinking, what do I do with this? You don't want to touch it. But here, now the whole world and all of AI and something knows that this item was sent to my house. So now what happens? People worried about this AI. Now what happens? Now I'm on some sort of list that gets this thing. So what do I do about that, Chris Stone, Mr. Fancy Pants with all your technology, huh?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable having this conversation, but can you return it to whoever sent it to you? Is there a way to reject
who
it?
said it? I don't know.
Okay.
I was hoping I could give it to you. I don't want this thing.
No,
but,
thanks.
So here's the thing. This is like new world stuff that happens. It used to be like terrifying when people, they put cookies, those little things on your computer so they know what website you're on and things like that. Like that was terrifying. And now like it's everything else that goes. And so, with that, sometimes you just need to get grounded. You just need to get back to see how much things have changed and what's important and what's not important. And to that end, I met the most delicious woman. This woman that's going to come on our show next is like, she's a breath of fresh air. She's someone who has lived life much more animated and much more colorful than most people you've ever met before, and has managed to maintain such a glorious attitude that the sun shines from within her and it comes out. And I'm lucky enough to be able to have her on our show today to teach us all how to somehow gather that light and be able to make it shine. She's just such a terrific woman. So without any further ado, please help me welcome my friend, Galina.
Hello. Exciting.
Galina, amazing job with the arms. You have no idea. We've had thousands of guests on Dan Jordan Live, and they don't get it right. But you, A+.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I am doing Zumba.
Oh, the Zumba.
Of course. Everything good comes from Zumba. That's the whole thing. That's the so let me set this up and ask you a question. So Galina, I met at where else? Toastmasters.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course, in Toastmasters. And Galina gave, in Toastmasters, you may or may not be aware of this, but there's a series of 10 speeches, the first of which is an icebreaker. And the icebreaker basically allows the first person to get up and speak about something they're very comfortable with, which is, in essence, their life. And the story she told was so special and encouraging that I felt the whole world needs to hear it. So I'm going to ask you, Galina, tell me the story of how you came to America and where you're from.
Okay. Originally, we are from former USSR. My family, my husband, and my parents, my sister applied to leave Russia because of anti-Semitism on the government level. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Marat and me, it's my husband, God bless his memory, was denied permission to leave Russia. And we become refusnic. Every 6 months, we need to reapply, talk to KGB, and I need to talk with CEO of his company. My husband was aerospace engineering, and there was lying that he know top secret, that he never know. But in my spirit, I know that I need to fight. My parents and my sister left to Israel because government don't allow them to stay more than 1 year to wait for us. And we would become refusnic. I'm not a quiet person. I try to fight for our future. We was lucky. We was connected with other people. We have distant cousin in California. We mail her letters. She never get. She mail us letters. We never get. And my husband and me, we need to go to shul, Jewish temple, and to find somebody who will pick up our letters and mail to California. One day we meet the cop with a black hat. In Russia, the first time I meet somebody with a black hat. And I asked him, can you pick up the letter from us? He told no, because it's Shabbat. It wasn't Shabbat. And I told, what this means no? He explained us. And I tell, no, we don't ask you for money. You need to pick up the letter. Thanks God, I speak Yiddish. I don't speak English. And my husband not so well. And we was able to communicate in Yiddish. And we fall in love with each other. And they tell me, follow to the hotel. You put the letter on the table. And next day we'll send. But I like to talk. I like people and become connected. Like I know them forever. And my husband asked me, how we go to this hotel? It's only for people from other country. KGB can stop us. I tell, yes, KGB can stop us, but we need to save ourselves. We need to leave Russia. We went, we meet at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We left them at 12 in the night, in the morning. We were there with them for 12 hours. There was a group of people. We have a nice conversation, and I explained them what we need. And I was pregnant with my son. And they tell me, we'll help you to leave Russia, but you need to promise, if it will be a boy, he will be circumcised. I tell, no question, I want to. Okay, and we fall in love, and they want to be with my parents and my sister next day. Now I invite my parents and my sister to the hotel. Now all of us was in trouble. We spent amazing time. They take us to the movies. They take us everywhere. They bring food from New York. Gosh, bless his memory. And he picked up camcorder, Abraham, and he tell me, what you want to tell your future attorney? And I start to cry. I was not scared about people, but I was scared to talk in front of the camera. My mom tell, why you crying? I tell, I don't know, I'm scared. Finally, I tell, I love to leave Russia, I love Jewish people. Was a nice introduction to my future attorney.
So now what year was this?
It was 1990.
1990. So Gorbachev?
Yes, it was May 1990. It was Gorbachev.
Was Gorbachev. And who was the president here?
President Bush father.
President Bush. And did he help you?
Okay, it's interesting story.
Yes.
This guy promised that he will help us to leave Russia. It was conversation on the phone, and one day they tell us, somebody will come to Moscow, you need to invite them to your house, apartment. You need to sign a affidavit to allow American attorney to represent you in American government, in front of American government. I was shocked, but I told my husband, we need to invite inside. But there is something more. This Abraham, fine rebel from Hillel,
rebel from Hillel?
No, President Bush father in person.
What?
Can you believe in miracle? And they meet and they talk about my family. I have this letters and proof. President
you
Bush
got all the
father
way-
write to President Gorbachev.
So the president of the United States spoke to the president, the prime minister of the Soviet Union at the time, and for your release.
Yes, they send the letters, and I have copy of all the letters.
Unbelievable. But so I guess for people here, because that was a long time ago, 1990. People don't know what it was like in in the Soviet Union. We talk about this, but I want to ask you something. We always heard here, the newspaper Pravda, right? That was your newspaper? Yeah. Which means what in Russian?
Truth.
It means truth. The exact opposite of truth, but I always felt that was the most insidious thing ever, that the truth was telling all lies. But at the time, I remember thinking, surely the people there don't believe the propaganda of their country. But did you?
I don't believe. People believe.
People believe.
Yes, unfortunately.
Right. So in today's world here in America, I mean, what do you think that could happen? That type of propaganda can happen here too?
Yes.
Is that something you can listen? This is an interview show and talk show. One word answers are not allowed.
Okay.
I should, but so. Well, how about this? When you first came, do you notice any differences in the, 30 years you've been here so far in terms of that?
Yes, there is huge difference. Country become different. We came 1991, December 1st. And now, almost 2 years ago, it's a different country. It's go in the way that I'm not excited about. People become disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, we talk about mental illness that on the rise, that come from unhappiness. Unhappiness, people don't know what to do with themselves. People rely on media. They screw up their life. They spend time in front of TV, talking with the media. And people become less oriented with the family. I was married for 32 years. I was blessed. Now in these days, this country, disagree with me, I will divorce you. Something that for 30 years, no, it's real, I can see this. Change in the attitude, in the desire to be there for each other and to help when it's come to politics. And people become so divided, Republican or Democrat, or whenever. This scares me. People forget we live under one God. We live under one sun. We have one moon. We're strong when we're united. And we're so easy predator when we try to, I don't love you. And I know so many people divorce, get separated from family and friends because of the political issue. Other issue. God, I don't care. We need to learn how to tolerate, how to enjoy, to see beauty in another person. And this I can see grow more and more and more. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about to make this country a beautiful flower. I love this country.
Yes.
It's not about power. And
So
people
how
talk
do you
about
do
power.
that as a coach like you are? How do you take somebody who's not some people, it's easier to be in a good mood. It's easier to see the glass half full. But how do you take somebody in your coaching practice that is challenged by the weight upon their shoulders in this society? They haven't seen the difference with what was and what is. How do you bring them around?
I tell you, when it's come to political, I don't coach anyone.
Well, I'm no political. I'm just as
Yes.
a human being. You said there's depression. People get depressed.
Yes, depression. I try to help people to understand, to believe in themselves. There is science that you have 5 seconds to change your thoughts. I teach people how to pay attention to their thoughts. I know my thoughts in 2 seconds. I recognize my thoughts. It was training. I help people to understand what is going on, to understand what causes the fear, to ask themselves, is this real or imagination? Because it's the same problem for 2 different people. One this view from one perspective and another view from another perspective. In this case, my goal to help people to believe, to understand that they're in control of their life. We cannot control event, but we can control our attitude. In this case,
Well,
my first step.
there are some real tragedies that happen. There's death and loss and all sorts of things, untimely things. So that they're not necessarily just made up things. Is that something you help with as well?
Yes, because I went myself through the loss of my husband of 32 years, happy marriage. And when I talk with people, it's, yes, you lose somebody. It's painful. But there is some fear behind this that can cause depression. And you need to ask yourself, what caused your fear? What is the reality? How to confront the fear? And how you overcome the fear? And I tell people, most of the time, we fear. We don't know. We're scared about future. We don't know what is going on will be in our life. And I help people to understand, like from my life experience. I was crying for the first 2 months, losing my husband. But after I wake up and ask myself, what caused my fear? And I was honest to myself. And I tell, yes, the fear was what will happen if, God forbid, something happened to me and my son can lose 2 parents. Beautiful picture. I tell, don't, it will be putting tears. And ask myself, and the second fear, if something happened with me, how I will deal. And I all the time was associating myself with a wife and a mother. And I ask myself what I can do about it. In this case, you see, I help people to understand what is behind their fear, to be honest, to be open-minded, to talk with them, to ask them questions. And it's usually people know what is going on, because sometimes we deny reality. And when I ask myself those questions, I was able to find the answer. I tell no, I will not die. I will do everything to be strong, body, mind, and spirit. And I start to go to Zumba. I start to exercise.
It all comes back to Zumba, doesn't it?
I start to be, I'm all the time happy person. But I start to work everything to be healthy, body, mind, and spirit.
So how often do you go to Zumba?
3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Even I tell myself, pain cannot define me. I have back pain, but I still go to Zumba. I don't care.
So you're saying that Zumba, just being physical, helps you mentally?
Because it's physical, but for me, to dance, it's helped me mentally. It's my way to connect to God. Like when I'm in bad mood, sometimes you show me the picture about with my husband and me. Yeah. And it was a little bit at my friend's house, newborn baby. It's memories. It will be forever. But I switch from sadness to the blessing to be married to this guy, to have this amazing relationship, to have amazing son. In this case, yes, we have lost. We have problem with the health. But at the same time, you can find some blessing that relationship, that marriage, that friendship brings into your life.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Friendship. So you lost your husband. You came to a new country, and you had to basically make friends right at the beginning. There's many young people now. They have a difficult time finding friends. They have a difficult time kind of getting rapport with people in a meaningful way using all these apps. What would you suggest? Let's say you're helping a young person, someone in their 20s, looking to find the type of life that you're saying.
Okay, be yourself. Be joyful. Maybe I'm blessed.
Well, where do you find these people to be joyful with? Where do you find these friends?
I tell you, maybe there is expression. Smile brings smile. I meet people in the street. I meet people in the park. I meet people in the store. Whenever I go, I smile. And people forget. This is the main power that we have for free. Can you imagine something to have for free? A smile. This way I make friends and I inspire them, like coaching. And I go to my synagogue, to shul, to Tzcham, I love. And some people tell me, Galina, to be around you is joyful. And what I learned, we can be sad. But when I'm outside, I try to bring my best to show people that they have power to make a difference in their life and the life of other people.
That's exactly right. You know, I had a conversation with someone today that he has a particular salesperson that he works with when he goes into this retail establishment, and his guy was busy that day, and so they gave him another guy, and the other guy's just a grump head. But he started, working with him, and now he feels bad. I don't want to work with this guy because I want to work with my other one. But he's the first one that we see, and now he doesn't want to insult the grump head over there. And I told him the same thing. I said, just walk in there and just be the shining light of the place. Just be a good smiling guy. It's impossible to smile at somebody and them not smile back. See, look at it. I didn't do anything. All I did was smile to the camera, and both of you smiled. You can affect somebody else's day. Here's what I learned, and maybe you would tell me if you agree with this. The mood doesn't make the smile. The smile makes the mood.
Yes, and there is expression. Fake it until you make it. If sometimes I want to cry, I go to the mirror, put a smile, and that's all. And done. I agree with you completely.
I do that too. I high five myself in the mirror every morning. All right, let's go get them today. Boom. I give my high five, and it forces me to, but I'm a freak of nature. I'm not asking anybody else to do that. Okay,
I just need the picture
of
you when you stuck your face right up into the screen and your teeth and like that. That would make me smile every day. Just like, oh my gosh.
We got to do that. That's a still shot. So,
yes.
But
you've come here and now you're starting a new career. Did you work during your marriage, or you're just getting out there now?
I was working, and I'm lucky. I was working at Northside Hospital for 20 years, and now I'm back teaching CPR, and they love me. I retired because I need to take care of my sick husband, and they begged me to come, and I'm back the second year. I'm teaching. And
You're teaching CPR?
Yes.
You didn't teach me CPR. You should do a CPR.
You didn't ask.
Yeah, that's right.
I tell you.
Yeah. How was I to know?
Whenever I go, I try to bring light. You see me, menorah. This reminds me that each of us have inner light. And I find the purpose in my life to help people to discover their own light. Yes, I'm teaching. I'm studying Torah. I'm involved in my temple. I'm around my friends. Without them, I will be not able to go.
So you're building a life coaching business too?
Yes, now I start to work. As soon I'm in peace, I completely recover from this pain and suffering. And my son is above your imagination. We talk every other day. He the best light in my life. And now I'm working to start coaching business. Because if I can do something, if I can be happy, you can be happy. If I have some knowledge, the main goal in life, to share the knowledge. This brings me, it knows that I'm a reason that you smile. This is the biggest dream in my life.
Okay, so we need to, Chris Stone and I need to help you build your brand and your practice here. So, what's the name of your company?
I never think about yet.
Okay, so we have to start. And so, and if I were to ask you, how, what do you do? You got to have something quick to say. So I'm going to teach you. I did a networking meeting once, and I met this woman who was a financial planner, and I thought she had a great, what we call elevator pitch. You know what an elevator pitch is? No. Okay.
No.
When you get in an elevator with Dan Jordan and he asks you what you do, you have only an amount of time before he gets off at the next floor. That's an elevator pitch. You
got to be able to just tell me what you do pretty succinctly. And there was a woman that I think you could use this. She was a financial planner, and she was I don't know if she was good or not, but she seemed to be successful. But I asked her, what do you do? And she says, well, I'm a financial planner, and my clients call me mom, which was perfect. It was just such a great explanation. It like created emotion. I know if I'm giving my money to this gal, she's going to treat me like her son. I thought it was great. Well, you're a bubby. I've left, all day long. Are you a grandmother yet? What did what'd you call your grandmother?
He is in medical school, my son.
What did you call your grandmother? Bubby, Dubby? What
Bubby.
Was Bubby? Yeah. Bubby. So
that's what
you should say. I'm a life coach for people. My customers call me Bubby.
I will tell something different.
Okay. What would you tell?
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Listen, it's your show. I'm just here. I'm just the looks of the operation.
Yeah, and some people that I was helping for free, because at the beginning I was not comfortable to charge. They tell me, you're a coach who brings sunlight in our life.
Azoy. All right. I stand corrected. That's what you do. You bring sunlight. Who can be best helped by you? What age group do you work best at?
It's usually I work with young.
I'm sorry,
generation till 40, 45. It's my best. Because also I'm 68, but inside I'm 28. It's easy for me to associate with them and to help them to grow, because this is our future. And country is rich, and we have more happy people, more successful, because it's better marriage, better friendship, better country, better job performance. Everything is better. That's why I'd like to work with people like 18 till 40, 45. But I have a couple of people that I was helping who is retired. But for me, like with who I am, I associate myself with more younger people, 45, 50, these people around before retirement, that they can make more changes.
I could see that, because you seem like you have oodles of wisdom. Yeah, you don't need to be dealing with the Alta Caucasus. Just go ahead. Let's go ahead and do it with the young people.
No, I have respect for everyone. But for me,
I saw a TED talk a while back, and there was a professor who was speaking about how lonely people die early, and that actually having having friendships, like real friendships, women and women, men and men, just real friendships. For men, you would add like 12 years to life, and women would add 9 years for life. It was a study done over 80 some odd years. It was taken. And so you seem to be able to immediately gain those kind of friendships and rapport, which is kind of important even in the sales world, to be able to get that immediate rapport. Aside from, I guess, the smile that you talked about before, how do you further that? How do you turn that immediate kind of, like or trust or what have you into something long lasting?
Okay. With this smile,
Gotcha.
you got me. Good job,
Yes.
Don. You can be proud
Yes.
of yourself. Okay, with a smile. For example, I'm in the park. And when people respond right away to me with a smile, I tell you have amazing, beautiful smile. Or I can tell you have a beautiful dog, or wonderful child, or you're good together with the people. And this way, I open the conversation. And I meet so many people and become friends from the park. Unbelievable.
That is so smart. That is so smart. Everybody needs to know that. You start with a compliment. You notice something about somebody, and it could be the smallest thing, but it's the desire to create that conversation. Really nice hair. You could say anything. It's just that just yesterday, I was in a Starbucks and I saw a woman there reading, and she seemed open, you're just accepting, but she was wearing a shirt. She was wearing like this leopard shirt that I remember my mom used to wear when I was a kid. And I was just looking at her, and I thought that I was just like staring at her, and it was kind of awkward that I was staring at her. So I had to say something to her. And I told her, and I said, I apologize. I'm looking at you. My mom used to wear that same shirt, and I'm just remembering, and it just makes me happy. You would not believe the joy that this woman got. All she heard was someone looked at me and made them happy just looking at me. And then, it ended the conversation there, but it could have, had I wanted to do it to keep things going. But you're right. Start with a compliment. That's magic.
Galina, I've got a question. What makes people hesitant to have that conversation with someone? What makes people hesitant to walk up to somebody at a park and say, I just want to say, I think you're great. I think your smile's great. And and what keeps people hesitant about doing that?
It's not judging people, but I feel confident in myself. I know people who can be a doctor or professor, but still don't feel confident. And I know people, one person tell, you more confident than me. I have $1 million, one house for $1 million, several houses for rent, and everything. And you have more confidence. And this has come from wisdom from my mom. Confidence come not from the money, not from the fancy house, not from the position, from understanding that God created you in his image and you're beautiful. Doesn't matter if you make a mistake, you're still beautiful. You're worth some. And if people have this knowledge, understand that each of us is beautiful, created in God's image, they will be easy to go like me. I was in the Trader Joe. I will tell you the story. I need to put a smile on your face. That was my favorite music. It was 5 years ago. I was at cashier with my husband. And this music, I start to dance in front of everyone. It was during the lunchtime. My husband asked me, what are you doing? I tell, what, you don't see? And I tell him, if you don't like, don't tell that I'm your wife. He was laughing. You will never believe. Cashier start to dance. Several people. And everyone was laughing like I was in the middle of the universe. People come to see what is going on at Trader Joe and on Joseph Eddy Road. In this case, this happiness needs to come from inside, from believing that you have potential, that you need to work on them and improve yourself, and every day to become the best you can be. That's why I advise, tell people, believe that you're amazing. It doesn't matter how look you like, if you're an achiever or you're working at the store or you're a doctor. Everyone is amazing. And that's helping.
Yeah, I love that. I was dancing. It was lunchtime. What else are you gonna do? You know, a lot of people, Chris Stone, wouldn't believe that. Galina, how many podcasts and things like this have you been on?
The first time, that's why I'm overexcited. I lose my mind.
You're an
Almost.
instant professional podcaster, Galina.
That
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much, Chris. It's so nice to hear this from you.
is
It just makes me think about, and it's such a simple thing to think about being grateful, right? To have an attitude of gratitude, right? We say it all of the time, but we get so much going on in our life. Sometimes we need someone like Galina to coach us through this and to think about, hey, listen, you're still going to live at the end of this cold call that you're making, or you're still going to, get to the website you have to build. You're still going to be able to do these things. You're alive. You have things to be grateful for. You have a new friend. You have people that you can meet. Because there's plenty of people that don't wake up in the morning, and you did. And so if you have that attitude of gratitude, and Dan wakes up every morning and says thank you, and that changes everything. And then he sticks his teeth in the mirror and gives himself a high five. So there's other things you could do.
Zeitgesinnt. I wake up and say Zeitgesinnt.
Stay healthy in Yiddish. And what I tell you, when sometimes I wake up, I'm not in the mood to get up. Raining. I jump and I start to dance right away. I don't want to wait to allow my mood to take over.
That's the Zumba training.
Yeah.
It's raining.
I can't believe this Zumba thing. Do men do Zumba too?
One guy, he is from China. I don't know how he is.
Okay.
But you're welcome to come. I will try.
Okay.
I'm crazy.
So Zumba. Okay. So this is wonderful. I want to get back to your experience. When you and I think this is important for people just to get the right mindset. I agree with Chris Stone. He's absolutely right. That spirit of gratitude. I have 5 values that I enforce in myself all the time. Gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, courage, and kindness. And the courage that you showed to keep on attempting to get out, and you go. People forget you're coming to a brand new country. You don't know anything with no money, just with goonish. You're starting from scratch all over again. Were you running towards something or running away from something when you were doing that? What were you, maybe just change it to this. What were you running towards that you were willing to give up your entire history, your homeland?
My history helped me to move forward. I will never give up my history because my life experience. But I moved forward to see how I can be a better person. Now I want to take swimming classes. I never learned to swim. Next year I want to learn to ride horses. I never did. In this case, based on my previous experience, my achievement, my success, I want to build my life to add more and more and more achievement and success to my life. And that people will tell me, Galina, you are our life coach because you have something unique to share us. Because you have experience, you have knowledge, you have understanding of other people's soul. This is from my experience. Go forward. You building cannot be without foundation. My previous experience, my parents who helped me to believe in myself, my marriage, my son, my friends, my sister. This foundation that helped me to build stronger building every day and every day.
Yeah, so it's important. So really, it's not. It's your understanding, your relationship with Torah, with God, and your understanding that it's you who gets to decide. It's you who gets to decide the relationships that you want and the mood that you want to be and the attitude that you have. It's the one string you have to play. You don't give control over that to anybody. For outside circumstances does not affect your inside world. So you could be anywhere. and you would have this. You could be on an island all by yourself, or in this group in here in America.
Yes, some people at the beginning discouraged me to put post on LinkedIn or Facebook because with my English, it can be not right correction sentence. And one day I wake up, I tell people who have wisdom to understand my message, who understand that they can grow from learning from me. It's more important if I put the sentence in more correct way. And from last year, I overcome my fear to be rejected. And I have so many followers on Facebook and LinkedIn.
That's wonderful. Well, actually, it makes you sound smarter. I mean, it's great. You speak. So how many languages you speak?
Of course, Russian, Yiddish. I can read in Hebrew, English, of course.
Yes, you got it all. My dad, in his home, all they spoke was Yiddish. He was in France, and so they spoke French too outside. And then, of course, when he came here, and when he would speak with his sister in Yiddish, he would speak with me in English, and he would speak with his friends in French in the same conversation. We're all there and just spinning around all over the place. Do you still have people in Russia?
No, I have distant cousins, and I talk maybe every 3-4 months. I don't have all my relatives in Israel.
I see. So tell me about your son. Is he in Israel? He's not in Israel.
No, he is Rhode Island in medical school, Brown University. I will tell you about my son. He graduated from Pace Academy. I was raised in the value that the best food and the best education, this need to be a foundation of your life. When my parents want me to go to play musical instrument, I fell. But my mom knows that I'm genius. Next month, she put me on entrance test under my grandmother's name, pull all my glasses and tell, go, and you will be accepted. I was 9 years old. And
Where
I
did
was
you go?
accepted. And at the end, when I graduated from school, I was accepted to the top musical college. And the first time I was rejected. And I teach my son. We came to this country, we need to start our life from scratch. But education, we applied to Pace, Westminster, different schools. The first couple of years, he was rejected because we cannot afford to pay $20,000 a year. And I tell him, you never give up. You will get education. He graduated from Pace. He is a brilliant guy. He went to Harvard, full financial assistant, because who can pay $70,000? He learned about himself, and now he is in Brown University medical school. But the most quality, he is a mensch. He is a person, that son that I can count 24/7. He is a son who can bring light to other people, life the way how he cares. And this was the reason for me and to be proud of him. Not because he is a Brown University, not because he graduated from Harvard, but who is the person, the son. And this is, he's my life, sunshine in my life.
Yes, yeah. So Chris Stone, you know how you always have to learn there's always a Yiddish word that you have to learn with every show. And so when someone speaks like this, do you feel that emotion she has?
Sure.
That's not pride. That's not love. That's something called nachas. So nachas is a good word. It's that extra little bit, that emotion that's involved. It's a special word.
Nachas.
Nachas. Yeah, you got to have
I caught mention there, so I'm
okay.
You got to get a little phlegm in there when you say nachas. But
nachas. All right.
That's lovely. Well, Galina, this is exactly what I hoped to get from you, is to feel that for other people to be able to feel what I felt the first time I met you. And that's why you're here today, not to help just me. And this will live on forever. You have much to give. Jan and Jeff. God bless you, Galina.
God
Good
bless you
stuff.
too.
So, do you have anything else, any magic pearls of wisdom you can share just to finish this whole thing? Nachas means feeling unbridled gratification.
I love that.
Okay,
See that?
Nakas.
bring joy to other people, and you will be enriched the way that you never think about.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, for all you are, what I thank you so much for being here. This was really, it's special for me. And I will save this and cut it up into pieces and play it for my children at their wedding. This is how to live.
Thank you so much. I truly enjoy.
Well,
And
what I
hope this
hear,
will-
Chris Stone, what I hear this whole thing, when I hear Galina talk, and the way she's been able to overcome everything and keep this sunshiny spirit throughout everything, it's just total belief in herself, in God, and your place here on earth for this time. You're living every day, which is just so delicious to see, which is how I first described you. It's just something someone you want to be around and learn from and gain from. And your clients are lucky to have you. How can somebody reach you?
My cell phone is 678. You put.
Watch
tell
the
you, you
magic
get
of Chris
me.
Stone. What's your cell number?
678
Yes.
896
Yes.
1023.
And it's not just 10, it's 10.
Yes.
You got to say 1023. Wonderful. Chris Stone, once again, you outdone yourself every single time. Isn't he terrific, Galina?
Yes, it's amazing. I want to tell you, thank you so much.
You're amazing,
You helped
Galina.
me to believe that I can bring more and more joy to other people's life. And I
Azor.
hope we'll share success together, and will be the beginning of our success for you, Dan, for Chris, for me, for everyone.
I hope to one day have as much
Well, I can't
Nakas as
think of a
you.
better way to finish.
Perfect, Chris, you make it. You can be proud of yourself.
Galina, we're going to shut
Thank
off,
you
but
so much.
we're going to shut off, but I want you to stay there for a couple of minutes and then we'll talk afterwards, okay? Just
Sure.
don't do anything different. Tell Joe thank you too for helping you get all set over there. Hey Joe, show your face.
Behind the scenes. Hey, Joe.
There it is. The guy.
Excellent job, everybody. Hey, wait.
All right, hands in the air. All right, thank you. You guys are the best. I'm the Deej. Go get them today.
Nakas.